All right, so just a few days ago, I saw that Governor Brown had, not Governor Brown, Governor Newsom had signed SB 707, and I've looked through it twice, but it is long, the changes that they've put into the Brown Act to update it. So Brown Act is open meeting law for the local boards and commissions. Our local boards of supervisors and other local entities also are subject to the Brown Act. But for you all, since you're considered a subsidiary body, there is something that applies to you here. So if your board of supervisors agrees to do this every 6 months, they have to vote to allow you to do this, but it would be an opening for you to be able to have members attend remotely without posting their address on the agendas. Right now, people could be attending by teleconference if they want to, as long as they're you know, doing the posting requirements, like having their address, their physical location on the agenda, allowing access to the public so that they can do public comment and they can see and hear what's happening during the meeting. That usually stops people because they don't want people coming into their homes if that's where they're coming. You know, they want a public place usually to attend the meeting if the public's going to be there. So this changes it. This is the way we operated during the pandemic. We were given this opportunity, and a lot of people got used to it and wanted it. And so over the last few years, we've seen a lot of bills, but it looks like it's actually in place here. I want to go through this again before I send all this communication out to the counties, make sure I understand it. But this is what it looks like to me, is that there's that possibility that if your board of supervisors decides, yes, they will allow their subsidiary bodies, which means for you an advisory board or commission to do this, then every 6 months they have to vote to approve it.
Now, that still requires that you have a quorum within the physical room. Is that correct?
No.
No? So
no, you have to have one staff member in the
room.
room.
So you don't, because it used to be you'd have to have a quorum and the people.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you still have to have a physical location.
Right.
But you don't have to have a quorum in the room.
And you can vote?
You can vote. Yeah, you can have a meeting, just like you did in the pandemic. Yeah.
It's a huge pain.
One that we probably would not know about.
Well, this is, and it's not in place yet. January will be, I mean, it's coming soon, like 10 weeks away.
So
Yeah.
what we still need to check with our local ordinance, like we have sunshine ordinance that was in addition to Brown.
San Francisco is so special. And San Francisco had, I think there might be another county, maybe Contra Costa, that have some of their own meeting rules as well. So definitely make sure you're within your own county rules. And, I do my best to put out the information and summaries, but also you will probably be hearing, from your county council about this as well. And you have to have permission from the Board of Supervisors, from what I understand. So yeah, take this information as preliminary right now, because I want to research and, really understand it and make sure that what I think I see, because I was surprised. Carla?
Hi, Teresa. Just to clarify, does this mean that we would have to go to the board with an ASR, like an agenda item, to get approval for the 6 months or 6 months at a time?
Can you tell me AFR, what that acronym is?
It's like an agenda staff report. So an agenda item for the Board of Supervisors for them to vote on. Is that what that would require?
Sounds like it, if that's the way it works in your county. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then is there, I know you said there does not have to be a quorum, but does it matter how many folks or how many members are present at any given meeting?
You still, you have to have a quorum to have a meeting, but, and that means just, to vote.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could go ahead with your meeting if you don't have a quorum, but if you want to have a vote, then you
Right.
need that quorum. But it's not in-person quorum, it's just online. And it says just a staff person in the room.
Okay, okay,
They want to keep that physical location open to the public if they want to attend that way.
yeah,
Part of this change was also because they wanted to put in requirements around teleconferencing that would allow more people to be able to attend, and so they have certain requirements about how the technology works or doesn't work and what to do and how to respond if it's not working.
mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Brooke?
Does this mean that a board of supervisors can approve this for just a particular board and commission, or are they doing it for the entire county?
From my understanding, and again, it's preliminary, I think it's each board and commission, maybe they would just do it for the entire county if they're in favor. Every county is different. I was
Right,
talking to
right.
somebody, one of our past presidents from Imperial County. Most of their population lives within 20 minutes of the city, the main cities, El Centro. So it doesn't take that long for them to get to meetings. It's not that difficult. So I don't know how their board of supervisors would react. But a lot of our counties, they're huge land masses with people that sometimes have to travel 2 hours to get to a meeting or more. And sometimes they have snowy conditions and things like that. So I think we'll see different responses from different counties.
Thank you.
Sure. Is there any other questions? Yeah.
I have another question. Gregory does too.
So which way is up? Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm on lots of boards that only meet by virtual. And it's real common to be able to have a person be the Zoom, captain, and everybody else is online. This sounds like I could do that with a staff member sitting in my house or in a public place. Now, there's one member, the chair or whatever, with a staff person could conduct all meetings virtually, right?
You don't even have to have a member in the room. It
Okay.
could be the staff persons at
Okay.
at the conference room that's open to the public, and everybody else could be online.
Okay, so I plop down a staff person in a public place and then include them in the Zoom. And the chair of the thing then, who's obviously
Yeah.
okay, so that works. This is amazing. I mean, if I mean, I have a hard time believing that a publicly engaged board of supervisors would allow all their commissions, all their boards to just do virtual work because they want to some degree to perceive that the public can come and yell at us or, come and get face to face with us. That's been the history. But if we let go of all of that and just have a whole lot of virtual meetings, first of all, it'll make it a lot easier on counties like mine that have giant distances between, I mean, I have a hard time recruiting people from just from transportation issues. If that's gonna go away, then it's a whole lot easier to have a lot of meetings.
Right, yeah. And like I said,
Right.
it said every 6 months they have to approve, so they could see what happens and they can
Sure.
pull back, or
Sure.
they could, allow more.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Christine.
So,
next.
if you were to have meetings like this now with remote access and your boards all over the place, would it also require that votes would have to be by roll call?
Yes, Yes, that's a requirement.
But also to play a devil advocate, because over Zoom, the meetings were held, but they weren't as productive. So the in-person is very stimulating, also the networking. And for our meeting, we have a ton of people who watch on Zoom from the public, but also we have people, what do you call them? Providers in the room and just connecting with them. We have patient right advisors in the room, and it just gives us all opportunity to get that connection and feedback and we are in San Diego. Our board meetings have improved so much since that COVID because of that interpersonal connection. And I understand that this would be a great opportunity for emergencies or certain situations where it's hard, but as a whole, for a board to not be there in person doesn't seem very productive to me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss watching the Board of Supervisors make deals with each others by looking at each other and going,
Oh,
I-
no,
you know-
hold on a second. They are not a subsidiary body.
okay, I
This
mean.
does not
But the
apply to
same,
the
I
Board
know,
of
but the same thing
Supervisors.
happens on lots of advisory committees. They're
Okay.
making virtual or non-virtual eyeball to eyeball deals about who's gonna vote for whoever. And, okay. I
No,
know.
we should not be doing that by cell phone. That would be a Brown Act violation.
Yeah, but then the audience does the same thing. They're sitting out there going, hey, when I got 12 directors of departments sitting out in front of you, and an issue comes up that they're not sitting testifying, but we're kind of looking at them going, are you in favor of this? That's not gonna happen because you can't eyeball somebody who's in a meeting somewhere else instead of sitting in front of you at the Board of Supervisors. Because every time the board meets, every time the advisory boards meet, sometimes key players are looking at us, are checking us out in a meeting, trying to figure out whether or not they want to answer or we want them to answer questions. I just think that interaction between the public and us may disappear if we're all in our houses somewhere across the county.
Let's go to Mayor Lucia.
Oh, wait.
My question is the closed sessions, are they, have they been in person or they still have them over to Zoom?
Closed session? So usually boards and commissions, at least behavioral health boards and commissions, don't have a reason to have a closed session. But, you know, the closed sessions would probably be the same, you know, as a meeting, they would probably be the same.
I just wanted to add a comment to that. Considering the disability communities that participate in our various counties, this opens up a lot more for them and for them to participate on the boards. So I see it as a plus.
And childcare and lots of other.
Yeah.
And you gotta have a microphone if you're gonna talk.
If you have a chronic illness as well and you have a flare-up going on, you can still participate without leaving your house.
Yes, Stacy Dalgleish. I mean, the other thing that I look forward to with this is being able to maintain a quorum. Sometimes that's an issue. And also being able to vote when you are unable to attend the meeting. And as it is now for us, we can speak during public comment, but not, you know, not be part of the voting decision or conversation. So I'm happy.
That it? Everybody's got their say? Okay, yeah, I think it'll be taken different ways in different counties. And LA, you know, I've been to your meetings. It takes a lot of your day to go to an LA Behavioral Health Commission meeting. It's not easy.
5 hours driving to the
Oh, you do have a microphone?
Anybody who's been in LA knows that some people, it takes 5 hours because they spend 2.5 hours coming from the Antelope Valley downtown. And then it's 2.5 hours. And of course, they're coming both directions is during the worst possible traffic. So,
Can you pass the microphone?
But I also wanted to point out in LA, you can go 20 miles and it takes 2 hours.